Welcome back to the Film and TV channel. We're all staying safe and well. That's not a change. We do these occasionally. We've got a documentary to have a look at today, which say we usually do films and TV dramas. It's nice to throw the odd documentary in. There'll be one or two coming up, I think, that are showing on UK TV at the moment. This has been around for a little while. I think it was first featured on PBS, the system in America. I think it's been on HBO as well. So we're going to have a look at a sporting biographical documentary entitled Muhammad Ali. There you go. We don't have to I don't have to expunge too much on what this one's about, do we? It's been showing on the BBC from a Sunday. What date was that? Sunday the 3rd of April for 8 weeks. And it's obviously now on BBC iPlayer. So, you know me, I like to binge watch. So I'll binge watch this on the iPlayer. And all the comments and scores as at the 4th of April 2022. I managed to get through this in an afternoon and an early evening. So, yeah, 6 50-minute episodes. So about 7.5 hours, I think they register it as on the actual running time, which isn't bad, is it? So I was hoping for quite an in-depth look, and that's what it promises to be. An in-depth look at the life of boxer Muhammad Ali, originally Cassius Clay, of course, including his years as an activist and philanthropist. Directed by Ken Burns. Yeah, he's done a few features, hasn't he? Some people like him, some people don't. He's okay for me. And this is the little views from other people. Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, the critics like it. 100% positivity. Not 100% mark, just 100% positivity. So they all liked it in theory. There was no actual breakdown of the scores that you do fresh and rotten with Rotten Tomatoes. Brian Lowry from CNN.com said, Burns has captured that humanity as well as the greatness in a way that rumbles with the sheer scope of Ali's legacy and impressively comes out on top. Kristen Lopez from IndieWire said, this is an exhaustive look at the legend's life that will easily draw in long-term fans of Ali, as well as those who might have only seen footage of him on YouTube, making it a must-watch for sports fans and a documentary lovers alike. Yeah, I agree with some of that. Don't agree with other parts of that. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you, me, the normal guy on the street, yeah, doing very, very well. 8.6 out of 10. So that's high, that's high. If you get anywhere near the 9s, you're doing very well on Internet Movie Database. That's Joe Public, as I said. 485 people scored it between 6 and 9. So not a massive amount, I'm not talking thousands here, but it's a good level. And only 26 scored it between 2 and 5 out of 10. As you know, I ignore the 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s. I don't really believe those. So I ignore both of those for balance. So that's 95% positivity. So not quite up with 100% Rotten Tomatoes positivity. But I can understand a 5% difference. And let's perhaps talk about that a little bit more in my thoughts, about my thoughts on this. I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy this documentary. But I do have one or two little caveats to this. You know, as a young man, obviously at that time in the 70s, 80s, I did have an interest in most sports, and boxing was certainly one of them. I did have a big interest in boxing. And Ali was, of course, a big part of it. I like to follow the British boxers as well, the UK boxers. Hope they did well. But as obviously, as my interest in other sports as well, I do obviously, you know, I'm into my football, but obviously interest in other sports starts to lessen. But it was great to go back on this and relive some great memories from that time. And you try and remember back to certain things, and you try and link in what you were doing as well. If you like me, that's what I do anyway. And it's great. It was some great memories brought back by watching this documentary. For an extensive series, though, I thought the last chapters of his life were sort of brushed out and rushed through a little bit too much. And I was really by the end of it, because I think I got up to the end of episode 7, I thought there's so much more in Ali's life we want to know about, and we just had one episode, 50 minutes to get it in, and it just didn't work, and I thought it was just really rushed. I really wanted to know more about the later part of his life. I mean, for instance, just as an example, I mean, it wasn't a big thing, I suppose, but I mean, I remember his fight with Bugner over here, Joe Bugner, of course. And here in the UK, it was a reasonably big event. Of course, we knew Ali was in decline. We knew what was happening. We know, well, stupid, but it was quite a big thing. But you know, these sort of things were lumped in this documentary very quickly and mentioned in just a few seconds in other things about other fighters he thought. I mean, there's the one where he fought the guy, the kickboxer, which, you know, really interested me at the time. Stuff like that that just didn't get any sort of coverage at all within the constraints of obviously 7.5 hours, which seems a long time, doesn't it? But in the life of Ali, it probably isn't, in all fairness. But I really did want to see and hear more about his time as Ali declined as well, not just the ups, which I loved, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the ups in his career and the goings on with Malcolm X and the Muslim side of it and all that. But I just wanted to know a bit more. But as I said, also I felt that despite all, I never really much as well. My second caveat, if you like, as well as not being in depth enough for me, certainly in his later life, was I don't think I really learnt that much about Ali himself. Obviously, the people with keen knowledge about Ali want to protect his memory, of course they do, but I just thought as investigative journalism, it was a bit lacking. It was just basically what's on the page, as I would do myself if I'm doing a little history vlog on a footballer, which I do. Obviously, I don't have certain connections on a personal basis, so it's very much from, you know, quotes and stuff from other people. But I just thought with this, as it was sold about his being a philanthropist, etc., that we'd see a little bit more about Ali himself, and I don't think that quite came over as well. So I was a little disappointed in that I didn't learn a lot more about the bloke himself. But on the basis that this was a vehicle to relive his big moments, big fights, and mainly his climb to the top, not so much on his decline, it was fine. Say without delving too deep, I said it was fine. It was just okay. And let's be honest, I do look forward now to the 10 series, 8 episodic epic that will come out, no doubt, at some stage. Whether I'll still be around to watch it, but let's face it, that you could probably do that easily. To cover Ali's life and still be a very interesting series. So an 8-episode, one series, certainly doesn't really touch all the detail for me that I would like to have seen. But I am forever the optimist, so perhaps this 10 series, 8 episodic stuff thing is on its way very soon, but I doubt it. But as I said, I am the optimist. But I am going to score it well. Of course, I'm going to score it for what it is. As I say, it's got limitations, but it was a very good watch, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm giving it my very good score of 7 out of 10. It's not quite as high as Internet Movie Database. Not, I'll say I'm positive on it, so I agree with Rotten Tomatoes, of course, who all the critics were positive. But it could have been better. Let me know what you think, guys. Any of you get to watch this, but I certainly would recommend it. But either, as one of the critics said there, if you're a boxing fan, or even you've only just got a bit of an interest, it's a great sort of biopic, great biographical sports documentary. Thanks for watching. Please, I only ask you, until we meet again, please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.